it a fall from the top for Klopp and his boys from Anfield, or just a season gone bad? We discuss Liverpool and their fall from grace this season. Was a success the flash of the pan? That's our topic for today. So stick around. It's Football Wahala, and I'm your host, Noise the Voice. And we are at Bush Flavors, 20 Aditola Street, Agoda, Surulere, where we usually come to hang out and discuss football issues, everything about football, all the madness and crazies about football. It's a very nice, chill place that you can come and hang out, watch football with your friends, share a few laughs, share some drinks, and some nice grilled chicken, fish, or whatever you love to enjoy. Just come on down here and chill with us. Yes, it's Football Wahala, and you know how we do. We discuss all the crazy things about football. And today we're talking about Liverpool. You know, we don't know what happened to them this season. Champions of the EPL last season, then this season, trying to get in the top 4 position. So this time we have two people here we're going to discuss this issue with, and I have a very good person right here with me by the name of
Ambrose.
Yeah, Mr. Ambrose. Mr. Ambrose, you're welcome. You're welcome. And this is your first time being with us here on Football Wahala. You're welcome. And we have a regular person here by Mr. Bora. Mr. Bora, welcome.
Yeah, I'm always welcome. The voice is nice. But the man with the left and right punches, I'm ready for the Wahala.
Mr. Wahala, man. All right. Going straight to the point, to the topic. Liverpool. We saw them, rise. We saw them win the Champions League. We saw them win the Premiership. But this season, we don't know what happened. Now they are like almost out of the top 4 position. We don't know. Can we say that their success was a fluke? Like maybe they're not back to Liverpool that went trophyless for seasons, for years. Are we saying that this Liverpool now has returned to that old Liverpool where they just look at success, they only see it, but they don't get to taste it or feel it? What do you think about that, Mr. Ambrose?
I think it's just a season gone bad. I think they will come good. A team cannot just go bad overnight. But a team that won the league last season with 99 points, the second team, Man City, they topped them with 18 points. They cannot just go bad overnight. It's just that they're having some problems. I think the team will still come good. That's what I believe.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Bora, what do you feel about Liverpool?
Well, I think I will support what he just said. To me, this is a team that just be champions of just only a season, and we expect that form to continue that way. But I think my dear friend will just be saying, injury worries here and there whatsoever. I think that is far from an excuse. They bought some other players to include to replace those injured players, and at the end of the day, you can imagine Liverpool struggling, not even be a contender but a pretender at the end of the day, trying to fight for top 4. I could imagine.
Pretender, you call Liverpool pretender?
Yes, to me, struggling to make top 4, that is a pretense. That is not a contention. They are not in contention of the league. They are struggling behind Chelsea and Leicester in order, praying for them to be a loser so that they can be a winner. I think that is far from me. They are just struggling.
Mr. Ambrose, you agree with him? He said Liverpool, they are pretenders and not really contenders for being at that position, trying to struggle to get that last part to be able to play Champions League match next season. Do you agree with him?
I disagree with him. Like I said in my intro, that they just have a problem this season. For a team that won the league last season, like he said, you expect them to build on that success. Last season, they narrowly missed out on the league, and they won the Champions League. Then last season, they won the league. You expect them to build on that. But unfortunately, they have injury worries. They were ravaged by injuries. Their back line, their most important player at the back, Van Dijk, had injury against Everton. He had that injury for the rest of the season.
But they're not the only team that had injury issues on their team. So
the only one that have injury issues. But look at the back. His partner Joe Gomez is out. Matip is out. Laxmore that rests somewhere. That Klopp have used 18 different partnership in the defense. There's no stability in the back. when there's no stability in the back, how do you expect the team to play well?
So because that what he said it's not only them that portrays injury. Every other clubs has got an injury this season. That shouldn't be an excuse. Look, you are talking about the defense. What about the attack of Sadio Mane, Firmino, and what's his name, Mo Salah? The combination is not there this season. You can imagine it's only Salah that is enjoying the flair because he has scored 21 goals. But Firmino and Mane has not even got to the double figure. You can imagine Firmino scoring 8 goals in all the season. You can imagine Sadio Mane. At this time last season, you know where they are. The three of them have already scored more than 50 goals in last season. But this season, they are not even up to 40. You can imagine them. You are not telling me about defense. No, if you are talking about defense, what about their goal scoring ability? If we know that, okay, they are scoring goals, they are not conceding, then we now say, okay, it's the defense problem. But you can imagine this is a team that went for 3 seasons without losing at Anfield. But only you can imagine from January, they started losing. And they were not losing, they are losing last year when a clean sheet loss, 0-1 to lower team like Fulham.
But don't you feel the injury that happened to the players there actually affected everybody? Seeing that maybe the key players there, probably they were not there, so the morale of the whole team started falling, and they were not able to keep up with their form.
I won't agree that, like I said, it's far from an excuse. You can't tell me because the defense line had injury, then it's affecting the attacking line side. You can imagine even these guys, their wing backs, talking about Robinson and Alexander Arnold, they are not even to the party anymore. Maybe it has to be a dressing room problem, and if care is not taken.
Because the midfielder, Fabinho and Henderson, they dropped them to the defense, and they were the one that's supposed to be giving the passes to the attackers. They brought in Thiago. Thiago is a new person in the league. He needs somebody who will be able to stabilize that midfield. But those people that are supposed to help him out in the midfield, they were brought back. They were taken back to the back because all their defenders were now available. So that's the problem. I'm saying that they are being ravaged by injuries. Diego Jota was brought in, and at the beginning of the season, we saw what he did. He contributed a fair share of goals, but unfortunately, he too went injured. So that's why the club needs to find out what is happening to the season, to their team. Why are they having that sort of injury? Because it's the injury that have ravaged their season now. So they have to look for a solution. Is it the method, the training method, or what? Or is it the style, the get pressing, or what? They need to...
No. The issue is this. Let's just be clear to ourselves. Checking out, Mo Salah is the only one enjoying it. Look at Mane. Psychologically, it's not there. Likewise, Firmino. Those guys are fighting it out psychologically. It's just a total of 8 goals. Scoring those 2 goals make it 8 or 9 goals this season. So to me, Firmino as of last season, you and I know
what Firmino to be that prolific is for his work ethic. That's why when even last season when some people are criticizing Firmino for not scoring much, but Klopp said he knows his importance to the team. Apart from scoring goals, that they work the dirty job that they do for the team. So you cannot just judge Firmino by goals. If you are talking about Mane, I agree with you. But Firmino, we have not known him to be that prolific.
So this season has been his lowest since he has joined Liverpool in terms of goal statistics. So for you to see, Mr. Ambrose, let's just get our point clear. Psychologically, like I told you, Mane and this guy is being disturbed. That is why Jurgen Klopp is also struggling to, in order to look, if you look at it, last 2 seasons, there is this problem, this conflict between Mo Salah and Mane that people always accuse of Jurgen Klopp, the way he's going to settle those guys, how they are going to work. There was a time even we Africans were saying, oh, because they are tussling for Africa to win African best, that's why they are not supporting each other. I think that also contributes. And then the club also need to work on something. Look, they should go and check how much is Firmino earning now and how much is Mane is earning compared to Salah. Salah is getting the fair share. That is why he is contributing willingly. That's why he's not affected psychologically. But those other players, they have been affected. And another point I will buttress is this: when a team is winning, every players that are improving expects more in their pockets. Let me tell you one thing. That's why you see that if a lesser team is winning trophy, the following season they will have problem because most of the players there will be demanding high.
That's why he has not performed this season. He said he has gone for tests. He doesn't really know what is happening. He never mentioned in any interview that because they are paying Mo Salah higher than him, that's why he's not giving out his best.
But you know, you can't actually tell what's actually causing all that, because see, even from the last match when they played Man U, Mane refused to shake the hands of Klopp when they were at the end of the match.
Klopp explained what happened. He said he didn't have time to explain to them that Mane was supposed to start the match, but later he changed it. But he didn't have time, or like before at the end of the training section, he will explain to them, okay, you are starting, okay, this is why you are not starting. He said he played down that it's part of his emotion. He allowed his emotion to get hold of him. That is because he did not explain to him that he was not starting.
But then don't you think that maybe that because of the bench, they have issues with the bench, the dressing room, that is now coming out.
The way you interpret it, it could be him not happy with his own performance, because I expect that okay, by now it should be double figures, but it's not happening. And we know that apart from maybe a Messi or a Ronaldo, there are a few players that can just be consistent, that you expect them that every season they will be giving out. They brought in Jota. That is why they brought in Jota. But unfortunately, like I said earlier, Jota was injured, so he couldn't give out his best. So they are being ravaged with injuries. So that's just the problem. I believe if Klopp puts one or two things in order, they will surely bounce back next season.
So you still feel Klopp has it tactically,
He's still the man for the job. He's still the man for the job. I see, it's just a city gone bad. He will turn around the season. The next season will be better than this. I'm confident about that.
Are you confident?
No, like I said, I agree that Jurgen Klopp tactically he's still okay. He knows how to rally around the boys. But if that situation that I was saying is not dealt with, situation will remain the same next season. Those guys need to be called one-on-one by the management. They need to boost their morale financially, morally. They will get there. That is it.
Okay.
You are talking about the defense that they brought in some people, some players to fill in. Tell me, let's look at the caliber of player they brought in and compare with Van Dijk. You tell me the player that they brought in. Name the player that they brought in. They brought in Kabak. They brought in Reece Williams. Come on, check the quality. How can you replace it? Just like you, okay, maybe Ronaldo or Messi is out injured, you just go and bring anyhow player to replace them.
But then it still falls on the coach, because if you have if your castle falls when one piece is taken out, then it falls on you. You should have someone who replaces him that will not spoil your tactics.
That's what I'm saying. Like nobody, we know that football injury is part of the game.
Okay, answer.
Like he said it. Who was Van Dijk before he joined Liverpool from Southampton? And you now tell me when they went to a German Bundesliga to get a player, you are not telling me you can't use it to compare. It is when they bring him in to come and play for a team like Liverpool. Then you come and showcase. It shouldn't be an excuse. See, bringing a player to fill up a place shouldn't be an excuse. The thing is that generally the team is down psychologically. It's not about the physical fitness. It's just the psychological fitness we are talking about. Even check out Robinson, check out Alexander-Arnold. The kind of prime they gave last season and last two seasons wasn't there this season. They lost the courage. Even Firmino and Mane, they all lost the courage. It's not the injury worry.
Their class is permanent, but form is temporary. A player can lose form. It's normal. The only person, if you are talking about psychological problem, that I know had psychological problem in Liverpool was Alisson. There was a time it was very bad, conceding goals. We never knew his dad was sick, but it was later when he lost his dad that people were like, oh, this is what this guy was actually going through. That is the only player. If you are telling me about psychological problem, that's the only one I know of. But the team is ravaged by injury, like I said. You don't expect a team. Van Dijk is not there. Joe Gomez is not there. Matip is not there. Even this guy. No, they played their left back for them. This English guy also was out. Alexander-Arnold was out. It was only Robertson that was the mainstay in that defense this season. So how do you expect?
I will just to my point that it's not just physical fitness. Psychologically, if Liverpool doesn't work towards it next season, they are going to be out of it.
Psychologically, what's the cause of that psychological problem? That they are not well paid or what? I want to know why.
It's part of the reason. Like I said before, Sadio Mane, Firmino, those guys need their account to be hooked up. And aside that, the fracas always between Mane and Salah. Since last 2 seasons, we have been seeing this off and on, off and on. You see, sometimes Jurgen Klopp will make his changes, removing Mane. You see the way Mane will react towards him. Like, why would you take me out? What about him? You always favor that person ahead of me, like that. Sometimes if you look at Firmino too, the guy wasn't. It was like Jones trying to take over the space of Firmino. And you can imagine, even at a point in time, Firmino was thinking Minamino was brought in order to replace him, but at the end of the day, Minamino couldn't do it before he was loaned to Southampton. So all these things are causing fracas in that team. If Jurgen Klopp doesn't take time to work towards it next season, I'm telling you, you can even imagine that their last 2 games now, for them to survive and make it to top 4. How possible is it going to be? To me, I think it is impossible.
Another thing now, you feel, what did you feel about them making top 4? Is it possible or something they should just forget about?
Mathematically, they still have a chance because Leicester and Chelsea, they are meeting. So definitely one of them would surely drop points. Or either both of them can drop points or one of them can drop points.
So you don't think Liverpool will drop points?
If they win, if they can win their remaining matches, yes, definitely they can still meet up top 4. And even if they miss out of the top 4, I believe next season will be far better than this season. Because by then, those their injured players will have been back, and then they can start the season afresh.
For a Premiership League defending champion not to have even make top 4. We are not even talking about them winning the league now. So for them to make top 4, because so if it happens to a team like Liverpool, then I will say, okay, that is exactly the same thing that happened to Chelsea. Psychologically, the problem between coach and a player. So that's why I said I don't want you to base it on physical fitness, but
okay, that's where we're going to draw the curtains. Just give us your final takes, your submissions, what you feel about Klopp and Liverpool. Just 5 seconds. Just give us a take.
I think Klopp is still the right man for the job. All he needs to do is just to sort out his defense, because we don't know the form Van Dijk will be when he's come back for next season. So they need to buy a defender, and they still need to buy a central midfielder, because Henderson is not performing at his best again.
All right, so your final take, Mr. Bora.
Like I will agree to him by saying Jurgen Klopp, fine, tactically he's still a good coach, but he has to be careful of trying to work on the discipline of the player. Psychologically, he needs to do something. They need to call those players together, try to find out what is giving their morale down, that they could not come up with their morale. Find the defense line. I pray Van Dijk will come back and all that, but he needs to work on the psyche of those players so that there won't be fracas in that team.
Okay, there you have it. That has been our discussion for today about Liverpool, and we really appreciate you coming here to watch us. If you've loved what you've watched, please leave us a comment in the comment section, give us a like, share this video, and if it's your first time, subscribe, and also click on the bell icon there so you get notifications whenever we drop a video. Thank you for watching, and please stick around for our predictions coming right up. Yes, it's the Football Wahala, and we're talking about Liverpool. Why the fall from grace? Champions last season, this season struggling to manage to get into the top 4. Mr. Williams, welcome. Please tell us what you feel about Liverpool.
Yeah, I think the problem of Liverpool's struggle this season is quite synonymous to Jose Mourinho downfall and his sacking, because if you look at Tottenham, for instance, they started the season brightly, but due to 1 or 2 injuries and players dropping form and the rest of it, I mean, they are now struggling to even meet the top four. So for me, Liverpool's struggle this season has nothing to do with whether Klopp is still capable as a coach or not. It has to do with, you know, the injuries that the team has suffered from. Of course, we know that Van Dijk happens to be a very key player and a rock in that heart of defense. So when you now have someone like Van Dijk sidelined for almost for months, for months, I mean, you know what would definitely happen to that team. It's just like talking about, you know, a team of it's just like talking about Tottenham without Harry Kane. You know, the same thing goes to Real Madrid without Benzema. So you know, if Benzema goes injured, definitely these teams will struggle in front of goals to produce goals, to score goals. Same thing happens to Liverpool. So you have players, you know, the injury of Van Dijk for me has really destabilized the team.
But Liverpool, they're not the only team that suffered injuries.
Yes, we know, we know, but you see, sometimes also, like I said, when you win the league and the Champions League and the following season, much will be expected from you. But don't forget, while you have been able to achieve a particular success in a season, other teams also are looking at where they are not doing well to strengthen to make sure, you know, they compete with you head to head. Okay, now, for instance, looking at Man City, they didn't really start the season quite well, but somewhere along the line, you know, they got it right, because the likes of even Ruben Dias, if you watch their first leg match with Tottenham, the likes of Diaz, they were really struggling, and John Stone, you know, wasn't really at the peak of his game. But midway through the season, these guys just picked up form, and they started dominating, winning games, winning matches, you know, and going about 13 matches straight win consecutively without, you know, drawing any. So for me, Liverpool is still a team to reckon with. And also, I felt maybe the likes of some of their recruits, like Jones, like the likes of Jones that were brought in, for me, these are just an average players who has not really stepped up, you know, to the kind of expectation that was, you know, needed from them. So for me, I still see Liverpool as a team to reckon with next season, in spite of their recent struggle. That is, if Klopp would remain. But I know a lot of fans might be calling for his sacking, because they have their own son and their legend in the person of Steven Gerrard, who is doing pretty well at Rangers, who has just won a league, to say, you know, in the Scottish League. So people might be calling for Gerrard. But then I still believe Klopp deserves one more season. Let's see how far he can go, in spite of Liverpool's struggle this season.
Thank you very much for your input, Mr. Don Williams. What do you feel about Liverpool? What do you think happened to them? They were champions of the league. They won Champions League earlier. Now, we don't know what's going on. They're struggling to get top 4 position. Like, have they returned to the old Liverpool we know of?
The thing with Liverpool is, when the main key that leads to your house gets broken, it's not you change the door or you change the entire key. Liverpool started fumbling when Van Dijk got that injury against Everton. What's the name of this keeper? Everton goalkeeper gave him that scissors injury, and immediately that happened, Liverpool, they were just down morally and defensively. They were down. They have good attacks, they have good midfielders, but that same controlling figure that I spoke about last time, Van Dijk was the controlling figure in that Liverpool team, and that's the main key that got broken. So they have to change the door, or they change the whole key. So in the process of changing the door, changing the whole key, some players to get injured. You understand? So that is what Liverpool is a good team. Liverpool is a team for matured minds. It's a team for matured minds. Liverpool, they are not. If you give Liverpool at least 4 seasons or 3 seasons, out of the 3 or 4 seasons, is that they carry the league or they go far in in Champions League. You understand? The fact that now that they are crawling doesn't mean the head should be cut off. They should allow Jurgen Klopp to still handle that team. If they are looking at Gerrard, which I'm sure they are looking at, it will be the same thing with Chelsea that was looking at Lampard. Premiership team is a different kettle of fish. Lampard, fine, he was in championship with Leeds. He came up, nothing. Gerrard now in Scotland. Rangers went very well. They did very well in Europa. You understand? And now, from all figures on the table, they've won the Scottish League. But that is not a good benchmark for you to call Gerrard. He's going to come. He's going to come, but not now. Let him still take Rangers on another season. Let Jurgen Klopp stay. A man that came in within 3 seasons, won the Premiership that Liverpool they've been fighting for long, and he won the Premiership and he won the Champions League. So don't show him the door. So that's it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Really
much.
appreciate it.
Thanks. Anytime.
And that's it. The fans have said their minds about what they feel about the topic. And do watch out for us. We could be your neighborhood to get your view on what you feel on various topics. Because as you know, in Football Wahala, no they finish. I'm your host again, Noise the Voice. Catch you next time.